died. That's clears it up now. It says dived. Oh, never mind. I thought it said. Oh yeah, it does. It says I've dived there before.
Cool.
So that's it. Okay.
No.
Or didn't.
Once you have questions, go ahead, just leave it blank and we'll answer them at the end. Stick that way, Jack.
Hurry, guys.
Okay. Just saying.
So how do we know how deep we are? When we done?
It's quiet, dude.
Yeah.
On your console, on your base console, the bottom one is air pressure, the middle one is
How
depth.
many views did you get on that last
and then the
video?
top one is
I haven't even looked. Did
so
you
you
look
got a
at
depth
it?
gauge on your page.
Probably
I
not.
will
when I go.
Probably
Probably
It's
not.
like this.
I posted, I never even looked back at it to see if it was on
Well,
there.
this is flat.
Oh yeah.
No, he
flat.
didn't look
So
at
like
it.
you're
Oh, he
holding it, so like you look down on
I'll
it.
look at it right
So
now.
it's like.
I'll tell you.
Oh, okay.
So you look at the little window.
Oh, okay.
Show you right there.
What's it called?
Easy peasy.
Trip 723. Scuba diving lesson 2.
Okay, sign language, but I don't know what that means. Huh?
It's work.
Is it on there? Part
Oh.
1 you got 4 views.
Too much
Part
work.
2 you got no views. Part 3 you got 1. Really?
By doing good things.
People want to check out scuba diving.
So they
I
say,
guess so. Are you doing this?
Yeah.
people like too long, and they should be thinning the herd. How clear is it?
Really cool right now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's a nice,
Right
it's a
now.
little cold, but
It's a little cold. That's a good
especially
one.
further down you go.
Mhm.
On the surface,
You guys will go to
it's-
20 feet. So it's not about things freaking scary yet. Great.
So
The cool thing about it is the bass are sitting on nests right now, so.
Where do you go between the dive?
Vista Point,
So
east side of the lake, right Pleasant Harbor Marina.
The in relation to, there's the 5-boat ramp, there's the back portion, and the 10-boat ramp here, so it's Scorpion Bay and then across the
Across on the east side of the lake,
east of the lake.
east side of the lake. No, it Pleasant Harbor, the old side of the lake, I'll put it that way.
Yeah, Scorpion Bay.
Yeah, Scorpion Bay is the new side. On the old side.
No drugs before diving.
No.
Never use alcohol or tobacco before diving. Like ever before diving.
Tobacco actually changes the way your hemoglobin absorbs oxygen and it can scuba.
I don't know that.
Okay, alcohol, you're not gonna drink it now, why would you drink it now? It kind of messes with your ability to reason.
I feel like you try to breathe without the thing in your mouth, and then you just kind of start freaking out. You just kind of forget about it. And you get
It affects judgment, its effects may increase with death, it also accelerates body heat loss. And can contribute to depression, sickness risk.
So why would you want to do that again?
You can't drink and drive.
Don't drink and drive. Don't drink and drive either.
Spent a good portion of my youth snorkeling in Santa Cruz.
I think it's something about smoking.
I think it's snorting.
So snorkeling.
Didn't we do this one here? How can I avoid this?
Like, in fact, I actually caught swimmers here at the age of 12 for swimming for 40 hours out of 48.
That's no problem. Sorry, I don't want to be that pruny. I'm pruny.
It's what 12-year-olds do.
So why would you use nitrogen if it, like, when you ascend too quickly, it can be a problem?
Because what we're breathing right now is 21% oxygen, 79% nitrogen. A lot of nitrogen. That nitrogen is held in solution in our bloodstream. Just like oxygen going into our lungs and then through our bloodstream to feed our tissues, right? Oxygen does. Okay, nitrogen is right there along with oxygen going, hey, let's be buddies, all right? So you've got this nitrogen held in solution in your bloodstream. And we'll even go so far as to call it bubbles. Remember when you come up, everything expands, air expands, right? Those nitrogen bubbles are going to expand. You come up too fast, many of them might cluster together, make a big bubble. And dude with the air embolism, nitrogen probably through his bloodstream right into his brain because it expanded as he came up. He kept going up and down really fast. So that stuff was in solution, and then you'd come up real fast and it would expand, and then in solution and expand. So you don't want to come up too fast because you're going to cause those nitrogen bubbles to actually expand. They can push on a nerve,
Lots of pain.
cause you'd have pain, lodge in a joint, again pain, or cause blood flow issues. So weakness and prolonged fatigue. So no, there's a lot of bad side effects to decompression sickness. So we're going to come in chapter 4.
And number 12.
So why doesn't oxygen do that? I know that you can't have
Oxygen makes you convulse and die if you have too much
It,
fat.
yeah, but
So you
like,
have-
why doesn't oxygen expand and have the same effect that nitrogen does? Or does it to a lesser degree?
Because it binds to chemicals. So there's, they can overall oversaturate the rest of your body.
Wait,
Oh.
So, right?
No,
Just
it
stop
doesn't,
asking
it doesn't
questions.
precipitate.
Well-
Nitrogen's a bigger molecule. Nitrogen can precipitate off in gas. It's you ever have the Pergner equation? It's Boyle's law.
Oh, okay, thank you.
Okay, that's hard.
I'm okay with Boyle's law. I'm like,
P equals, whatever the equation is. PV nRT. Yeah.
Mhm.
And-
Pressure,
and
volume.
The pressure and volume, and
Yeah.
you change temperature. So if you're changing the pressure, you're actually releasing some of the molecules out, and then they actually consolidate within the tissue, causing an embolus.
exactly what he just said.
You were gonna say that, but you kind of took
I'm okay, no, I wouldn't have said it quite that eloquently. Mine would just sound quite that educated. It would have been kind of redneck.
But, so would like,
You know what I'm saying?
would helium do that as well?
Huh?
Would helium, if we
Helium
added,
doesn't get absorbed.
if we added helium, would it do that as well?
It's an inert gas.
It doesn't get absorbed. in
Helium's
the lungs.
inert. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So when we're tech diving, we'll add helium to our mixture of air to dilute down. We use it as a diluent to dilute the oxygen, because as we go deeper, you know what? We're gonna go over this Saturday. Come at noon. I'm gonna use my whiteboard. I'll doodle on the whiteboard, and I'm gonna give you a generalization that you can actually wrap your head around and go, oh, okay. Okay. It'll be okay. Easy peasy, fresh and squeezy. Okay. Here's what I need you to do, Hunter.
Yes,
Do you have pencil and paper?
I have a pen and paper.
You got a pen and paper, great. All right. So remember on the first, chapter 1, question 1? On the
The
back side of this.
atmosphere thing.
All right. Hang on.
So it starts 1 atmosphere
Hang on,
is
guys.
at the surface,
All right.
2 atmospheres is 33 feet down, 66 feet.
21,
Remember that?
79,
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
0, 33, 66, 99.
So that's percentage.
132. All right. 21% and 79%, right? Now remember when we go down 33 feet, everything doubled. As in, because of pressure and density, right? So it's as if we're breathing 42% O2 and then 158 nitrogen.
But not all of it gets absorbed though.
Right,
You breathe
but
out.
we're taking on a lot more nitrogen.
Yeah. Then
So when we get down to 132 feet, it's as if we're breathing because we're taking in 5 times as many molecules at that 5th atmosphere. So it's as if we're breathing 105% O2, but 395% nitrogen.
Wow.
So what we'll learn in chapter 4 when we're talking about dive tables is why we cannot stay as deep as long as we can at more shallow depth because of the nitrogen onload. This is really redneck and I apologize, but it's all right.
It's a concentration gradient.
Right.
Therefore, it diffuses across the concentration gradient and more goes
Okay.
in your bloodstream
That's why you have to make like a safety stop at, what was it, 33 feet or
to
something?
equal that
15 feet.
pressure, that concentration.
15 feet. All right. Enough of that. That's way too much thinking for tonight. Did we do chapter? We did 3's quiz, right? You want answers?
Yeah.
Okay, number 1 is B. Number 2 is C. Number 3 is D. Number 4 is B. Number 5 is C. Number 6 is D. 7 is A. 8 is A. Number 9, 4, 3, 1, 2. And number 10 is C.
Why are you listening to me?
What?
Nothing?
Did you give him?
no, he inadvertently gave me
What is number 10?
He was, I don't know.
He was messing with you
I just
and
didn't
you
want
wrote
to
it
have to read
down.
the question. I was like, okay.
Would you quickly do 1
Yeah.
through 4 again?
I would.
No,
B,
two is-
C, D,
2 is
B,
2 is
C, D. So the first 6 go B, C, D, B, C, D.
Okay.
Kind of like the jacket that we'll wear.
Oh, my buddy is near.
Okay?
All right. Wait.
You are making a crumply face there.
Number 9 is.
Number 9 is crazy, wacky. The way they did it doesn't make sense to a lot of people.
It's 4 questions in one.
Kind of is. So the first one talks about buoyant emergency ascent. So it is number 4, which is when your buddy's too far away and you're deeper than 30 feet underwater. Because that's where you're going to drop your weights and you're going to swim going, ah! Because it's going to be rough and you're going to be scared, but it's going to be easier to find you unconscious and hurt at the surface rather than dead and drowned at the bottom of the ocean, right? So we're dropping our weights and going up. We're going to get hurt though. The second one is CISA, Controlled Emergency Swimming Ascent. That's when our buddy's too far away, the surface is closer, so we're going to do the Superman and go, ah, because it's controlled, okay? The next one is normal ascent, when we're low on air but we're not out of air. So number 1. And then the last one is number 2, is alternate air source ascent, when your buddy's near and you can go to your buddy and go, I'm out